Children, let us continue with the explanation of the rest of the poem, Keeping Quiet by Pablo Neruda. Children, I had explained to you the meaning of the idiomatic phrase, no trucks with. So here when the poet is using this idiom in the poem, it means no truck with death. The poet wants no association or no dealings with death. It reflects his strong aversion to wars, destruction and violence. So he is saying that I have no associations or no dealings with death that can be brought about by war, by violence, by destruction. Now I am explaining again from here, children. If we were not so single-minded about keeping our lives moving, and for once could do nothing, perhaps a huge silence might interrupt this sadness of never understanding ourselves and of threatening ourselves with death. Again, very important lines of the poem. Neruda feels, children, that human beings are under a kind of a compulsion. They are compelled to keep themselves, in constant mindless activities. They have to constantly move, participate in that mad rat race so that they don't lag behind, so that they are always in front. They are so involved in this race for materialistic success that they have no time left to think. Maybe human beings are scared of the silence that could make them confront the consequences of this mechanized and busy life. They are not ready, they are not prepared mentally to face the truth, the bitter reality of the society, that actually they are harming themselves. So they are not ready to face or confront the consequences of this mechanized and busy life. Mechanized means like mechanical. Life has become very mechanical, devoid of any kinds of emotion, thoughts, feelings. So the poet, he clarifies that he doesn't want the idea of keeping quiet to be confused with total stagnation. He does not want it to be confused with total stagnation or complete passivity. He insists upon the need to do some productive thinking via introspection. So he is making an appeal to engage ourselves in productive thinking via introspection. It is only in the moment of silence that man will understand the damage that he has done to himself, the damage that he has caused. I have explained this to you. We have even discussed what are the damages that man has inflicted on himself, and also the sadness, children, over here might interrupt this sadness. Now Neruda is talking about the sadness that human beings suffer from. And what is it? Isolation of man due to his obsession with constant activity. Now man is obsessed with constant activity. He is not understanding his real needs. And what is he doing? He is risking, he is jeopardizing all humanity due to war. It is leading to complete annihilation. Mankind will be completely wiped out from the face of the earth. Okay, now the last stanza, children. The last stanza, perhaps the earth can teach us when everything seems dead and later proves to be alive. Again, very productive stanza, children. Silence can be productive. Now, according to Neruda, he is saying that silence can definitely be productive. Earth remains silent, and yet it nurtures and sustains so many life forms, isn't it? You cannot take a peep inside the earth, can you? Can we look what is going on inside the earth with naked eyes? No, you have to dig in. You have to dig the soil. I'll tell you one example. When I used to go with my daddy, children, for a walk in the park, especially during the winter season, I had planted a sapling, but it never used to, in fact, I had planted a seed, children. And it was not germinating. It was not germinating. And I used to constantly ask my father that when will it germinate? When will I get to see it sprouting? It never used to. And my daddy used to say in a very simple language that it will take its time. It will take its time. It will happen when the time is ripe. Now, I did not understand it that time, what he meant by saying. Children, every process has its own life cycle. A plant or a seed to germinate, it will take its own span. It will take its own time. You cannot force it. Now, till the time the seed was inside the earth, it did not mean that it was lying passive. The process was continuously going on inside the earth. It was continuously evolving. It was reaching that stage all this while so that in the next stage it could germinate. And when, it was the spring season, I could see a small tiny plant coming out. It was a sapling, children, and I was thrilled beyond measures. So that time I understood that the seed was not completely dormant inside the earth. It was passing that stage, and it was the cycle of growth, of development, of maturity that it was passing. So we have to learn from the earth that everything which seems to be dead or passive or dormant later proves to be alive. Okay, it is actually passing through that stage of development, and when the time is ripe, the plant automatically came out. It popped out its head from under the soil. So this is what it means over here, that everything seems to be dead and later proves to be alive. So when the sun, the poet uses the image of formation of earth to prove that new life can emerge out of the ashes of death. Yes, one more understanding could be, children, that new life can form from the ashes of death. When sun exploded years ago, it seemed to be the end of everything, isn't it? However, science students can better understand and relate to this. However, something was born, and what was it? Earth, the only planet that sustains life. He wants us to learn the lesson of strength and tenacity from earth, children, that we must go on. We must not stop. That we must go on, we must not stop. Just like under the apparent stillness of the earth, we see life. In the same way, from the hour of introspection, we can revive a new life of peace and tranquility, of brotherhood, which indeed would be a better society to live in. Now, the last two lines, children, are again very important. Now, I'll count up to 12 and you keep quiet and I will go. So, what does the poet say? In the last two lines, the poet appeals to all the readers to begin with a count of 12 and experience the exotic moment of silence. He leaves after counting till 12 because he has finished the process of initiating the process. Okay, he has completed the process. He has initiated the session and he is done. He now wants people to take responsibility and begin the exercise of keeping quiet at their own level. The poem ends on a serene, pious and positive note. So the ending is very positive. There is a hope for a better society, and that human beings will be able to connect with each other on a better platform, in a better way, by being considerate towards each other and by having feelings of warmth. So the second last stanza, children, the second last stanza, perhaps the earth can teach us as when everything seems dead and later proves to be alive. So there is something to learn from the earth. that complete dormancy does not mean passive, that one is completely passive or dormant. Actually, it is leading to something much more lively, energetic, hopeful, a better tomorrow. Now I'll count up to 12 and you keep quiet and I will go. So the poet is done with his process of initiating the session and he says that I shall now go. There is a little more explanation that I shall be giving to this, these 3 lines, children. Perhaps the earth can teach us. I shall be explaining this when we will be doing the question answers of the poem. Important RTCs and question answers I will take up in the next class. Thank you, children.